Slightly different perspective on this episode. We've turned the plane around. So the idea being now I can concentrate on the cockpit. Let's go and have a look. I've managed to fit it in the workshop just. Taken a window out of the workshop door. The boom goes outside, but it's underneath our carport, so it's not exposed to the elements, which is great. And I can get down this side. If I rotate the nose around, I can also get down the other side. The problem was before, can't get past the wheel. So this makes things a little bit easier for me, and I can get back and forth from the workbench. So the idea is I flat all of this back, and I need to get all my new placards, but at the same time can clean it all up, give it a coat of paint, and put my dials and bits and pieces back in. Need to try and work out what's going on here. There's lots of spurious looking bits and pieces. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into this. And I think I'll plates and bits and pieces. I think I'm going to take the hinge off as well, clean that up and refix it. Seems a little bit wobbly there. Let's find out what's going on underneath that, and just generally clean it all up. So I may well respray the tops of the cockpit, maybe down to the side, and all of this piece. What I'm going to do is also overspray slightly on the front, just a little bit, just around this edge, just to clean this edge up, and then when the plane finally gets resprayed on the outside, it can then come back up to this edge. That's the plan. So these are all my placards that are on there at the moment. So it's worth recording what was on there so that I can get them all back in the same place. So a few other bits and pieces explaining the controls. So a little placard saying that it's fitted with non-standard controls. So I think one of the first things I'm going to explore is this right stick. It's a bit of a Heath Robinson job. Got the push to talk there, and I think this is for the trim. We got this great big piece of flex running up, so I'm not too fond of that. Let's see what we can do with that instead. And I've seen some lovely grips where on the top all the controls are mounted. So yeah, let's have a bit of a strip that off and see what we can do to improve it. Okay, well, happily our two spare wires were redundant, so that's why they were pinned back there, so there was no risk with those. I've uncovered these, so there's the two wires going to the push to talk, and these other wires go to the trim up and down. So I'll see what I can do to free those up. And this is just a bit of aluminium angle that's been bolted to the original control stick. So I think I'm going to remove that in its entirety. Brain's back. So I'm going to remove these now. This canopy anchor is going to be replaced and remounted over there to match up with the refurbished canopy. So I'm going to take this off and save that for later. I'm going to take this off now and see what size hole we've got under here, and remove this ignition switch. I've got dual ignitions now, so I need two switches, and I'll probably release this one as well if I can get around it. So that's the nut undone. Very neat and tidy hole. So I had a bit of a hand from my trusty apprentice, and she helped me remove the main loom. So I bit the bullet. I pulled it all out. Came out from the trunking that runs along this side. So there we go. I've done it. I've pulled through a draw cable as well, so I've got a way of pulling the new cable back through when I purchased that. I've also located the wiring diagrams from the build manual. Very useful, and it looks like Dave, who built the aircraft originally, has put some updates on here in his usual meticulous way, so I can refer to those. I'll try and stick to the original colours because it will make things a lot less confusing when I'm connecting up. So yeah, I've got some bigger examples that I can amend and make notes on as I'm going along. So I've got that for the workshop. I'm going to carry on stripping things out. I think I may as well go the whole hog, remove it all, get all these aluminium bits off, start working on the paint whilst I'm ordering cables and connectors and bits and pieces. So let's finish that off tonight. So there we have the dash pretty much stripped out. Soon I'm going to start flattening it back. A few more things to remove, but yeah, that's what I got to work with. This is the image from my build manual that shows the dashboard there, or the panel. And on the other side, quite usefully, is this diagram here that shows me the angle at which the compass needs to be set. So taking that, if the original drawing shows that it's 67 degrees, 113 to the horizontal, well, I need to work out the wedge that I'm going to put in to get my compass level. So looking at that, I think it's 90 degrees minus 67, 23 degrees. So I'm on Mark 2 of my trying to get my compass the right level. This is the aborted attempt. Didn't like the way that was going. So in the tradition of using the mixture of right materials for the job, which is very much the theme of the Shadow, I've done a mixture of aluminium and plywood here, where that will help me to achieve the right angle in the dash. I've got a little bit of fettling just to sort of shape it a little bit better, but that's the basic principle of how I'm going to fit that in. That's pretty much the finished bracket, and let's just go try and fit it. That's loosely where it's going to sit, so I need to find a way of bonding this bracket on now. And there it is. I just bonded it in position. Just made a little strap there to hold it in place. Hopefully nothing will slip whilst all that dries. We'll check it in the morning. So I popped out today to see whether things have set in the right place, and it all looks pretty good. So let's just have a quick peek at how that compass will look in its new place. And that's it. So what I'm going to do next is clean this up and blend it all in a little bit more. But I think I'm quite pleased with that. I was going to build it out, but now we've got it sat back nice and flush, and all this will be the same colour, and the compass should all work fine.